Today, as part of our interview series, we welcome Tammy Harris. Tammy is head of the Affinitas Accounting tax team. Welcome, Tam.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks for having me here today.
Today, we're going to talk about businesses and specifically their obligations to pay employee superannuation in full and on time. This has always been something that we as a business have stressed to our clients, but now it looks like the ATO is getting really serious about the issue.
That's right, Brad. And to be honest, it's not a surprise. There's nearly $3 billion of outstanding super guarantee owing to employees. So what the ATO are introducing is strict penalties for directors who don't pay their super guarantee obligations. Can be as much as 12-month prison sentence and 50 penalty points, which is nearly $10,000 in today's rates. So what I guess a lot of directors think when they set up their company structure is that they themselves aren't liable for debts that the company accrue. But these, as well as your pay-as-you-go withholding obligations, can fall on directors' heads. So it's really important that these are kept up to date.
So I understand while the legislation may take effect from the 1st of April this year, it is going to cover superannuation guarantee payments that employees have to make backdated from the 1st of July 2018. Is that correct?
That's right, Brad. So if any clients do have outstanding super, it's important that they talk to us now so that we can make sure everything is in line before these rules come into effect.
And despite our best efforts, we have had clients go through superannuation audits. What do they like to experience?
A lot of paperwork and a lot of headaches. Although we try and do as much of the brunt work as we can, there's still a lot of work that our clients need to do in getting the documents together. For example, and probably the most painful, is finding employees have to send their statements to show that their superannuation has actually hit their super fund accounts. So if we're looking at employees that worked for us a year ago who've since left, trying to track them down and get that information from them can be quite difficult. So one thing that we can do is, before we get those audits, lodge superannuation guarantee forms, and those don't require quite as much detail. It's us admitting to the tax office that we have these outstanding obligations and setting up a system where we can pay them, maybe if we can't pay them all up front, setting up payment arrangements to at least catch up.
What are some of the simple ways we've helped clients with meeting their superannuation obligations?
Well, I guess the first thing, Brad, is just making sure that we are paying superannuation on time. The most simplest way, and I'm a Xero fanatic, so is those software. Xero and many of the other systems have quite simple payroll systems where super can be paid with just a click of the button. So in those instances, paying it every week when you pay your employees or fortnightly, rather than waiting until you have a lump sum at the end of the quarter, that's one great way to ensure your cash flow isn't hit. We also sit with employers and look at what hiring an employee can mean. So it's not just the wages that you have to pay them each week, it's your insurances, the super of course, and the tax that you have to withhold. So we need to factor all of that into cash flows when we're looking at whether we bring an employee on or not. And then obviously if we do fall behind, it's those super guarantee charge forms that I spoke about earlier, in putting our hands up and going, hey look, we know we're behind, but we want to do the right thing.
And also one of the things we can get involved with is helping clients plan and prioritise their cash flows for their tax bills that they have to pay.
Absolutely. Cash flow is such an important part for all businesses, and probably the thing that a lot of small business owners find the most difficult. So having a consultation with us, looking at your cash flows and projecting what we need to put aside for particularly your superannuation obligations is an important step when you're starting up in business.
And what is the takeaway message to all company directors from now?
Well, Brad, simply pay your superannuation obligations. Your employees would let you know straight away if you didn't pay them 1 week. Consider your superannuation guarantee part of that obligation. It's a business expense, it needs to be paid. And if cash flow is a struggle, come and talk to us. Let's have a solution in place to make it not a pain each payment.
So there you have it. Employers, it's really important to know what your super obligations are and to make sure they're up to date. So please, if you're unsure or need a double check, get in contact with us now.